Most people want to be rich. Being rich is freedom. It allows you to live the life you dream of. Many people dream of escaping the proverbial rat race and paving their own way. The problem is, very few people know how to do this, and financial literacy isn't taught in schools. Schools teach us how to become good employees, not how to take care of ourselves. As the middle class continues to shrink, the time to learn about how the rich manage their money is more important than ever. If you dream of financial freedom, you need to learn the rules. The rich play by a different set of rules than the rest of us, but you don't have to join some secret society in order to learn those rules. All they require is a shift in how you think about your money, and learning a few very simple strategies. Strategy number 1, understand your cash flow. Cash flow is the most important aspect of financial literacy. This involves where your income comes from and where it goes to. For most people in the middle class, the majority, if not all of their income comes from their job. They're employed by a company who pays them a salary. That salary flows through their liabilities and expenses first, and at the end of the month, they save whatever is left. When they get a salary increase, usually their liabilities and expenses increase to match. This is known as lifestyle creep, and it happens to almost everyone. Because we want to be rich, we have this idea in our heads about what a rich lifestyle would be. People buy a new home, a new car, or the new iPhone because that's the lifestyle that they want to have. A salary increase enables you to move closer to your idea of a rich lifestyle, but in reality, you are no closer to actually escaping the rat race. If you were to suddenly lose your job, you would actually be further away from this goal because your liabilities have increased. This brings an interesting and somewhat contentious point. Any debt you take on, be it for a house or a car, is a liability. Many people view their house as their greatest asset. This is not true. Your house is actually a liability because it manifests as an expense every month. Just ask anyone who was affected by the housing crash in 2008 if their house was an asset. Assets are things that put money in your pocket every month. A house does not do that because it only generates income when you sell it. Until that point, it only takes money out of your pocket in the form of a mortgage payment, renovations, taxes, insurance. You get the picture. And relying on your house increasing in value in the future is wishful thinking. It's not a financial strategy. The rich don't think their houses or cars are assets. They know that if it's not generating them income, it's a liability, which means that they are ultimately beholden to it. That's not to say that the rich don't have a mortgage or a car payment. They just aren't disillusioned by the debt's true nature. Rich people understand that financial freedom comes from changing their cash flow. Instead of their income coming solely from a job, they seek to increase their assets. Assets generate passive income. Assets can come in a number of forms, including real estate, royalties, intellectual property, businesses that run themselves, really anything that requires very little manual intervention on their behalf. For the rich, their cash flow moves from their assets directly into their liabilities, which in turn decreases their overall expenses every month. The goal is for the income from your assets to always be greater than the expenses from your liabilities. There are incredible tax advantages to this strategy, which I'll talk about next. Strategy number 2, start a corporation to manage your assets. When you own a large amount of assets, you don't want the income from those assets to be going directly into your pocket. If it does, the government will get its share through taxation. The income tax was originally introduced to tax the rich, but the rich understand that there are tax strategies which can reduce their income and thus reduce their tax. The middle class, whose primary income comes from their job, are the ones bearing the true burden of taxation. For most people, the government takes the first 5 months of their earnings per year. Yep, you heard that right. Taxes are most people's number one expense. Rich people who own assets start corporations. Corporations are taxed differently than individuals. Instead of taxing overall revenue, corporations are taxed on profits, which is an important distinction. Simplistically, profits are calculated as revenue minus operating expenses. So if a rich person has a real estate business where they buy property for resale, rent, or lease, the mortgage payments from those homes can be deducted from their revenue as an operating expense. In fact, anything that can be considered a business expense can be deducted. This is how rich people increase their standard of living without taking on the additional tax burden of that lifestyle. If they use their car for any business activity, the car can be purchased by the corporation instead of by them as an individual. If they want to take a trip to Hawaii, they can spend some time conducting business meetings from that location. Boom, it's now a business expense. Strategy number 3. Surround yourself with experts. Now, there are some limitations to the corporate tax strategy, which is why people surround themselves with a team of advisors. Usually they hire tax accountants and lawyers to make sure that they are complying with laws and regulations. But the good news is, those fees are also business expenses, which means that they can be deducted from revenue and they can avoid paying taxes. A good owner of a corporation understands that they have to hire people who are smarter than them and have deeper knowledge of fundamental areas of the business. Many owners of businesses actually have very little to do with the operation of that business. They hire an operating manager who effectively runs their business for them. Even if after everything the business only brings in a few $1,000s a month, that money is almost completely passive. This is not to say that the owners are completely worthless. Often they understand a wide array of facets about their business, but don't have deep enough knowledge of all the pieces to effectively perform the job duties. Most people are taught in school that they have to become an expert in their field of interest. While knowing your craft is incredibly important, going deep on a particular field of study usually means that you will be working for somebody else instead of working for yourself. Owners should be jacks of all trades. They should understand enough about all the pieces to hire the right people and hold them accountable. Getting rich is a mindset. It requires you to think differently than everyone else. But knowing a few important tricks can help you move your money around more effectively. This is financial literacy. I encourage you to start your education in financial literacy today. If you made it to the end of this video, you're already way ahead of the pack. If you're looking for a good primer resource, which goes way more in depth on the concepts I talked about in this video, I recommend the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Your financial future is entirely in your hands. The tools are available, and the riches are ripe for the taking. What will you do with the opportunity? Hey guys, thanks for watching the show. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.